Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're not going to be talking about any specific game. It's just a topic that's been kind of eating me for a very, very, very long time, and it probably won't be the only time I cover this, but it kind of feels like a reminder is needed, not only for myself, but for all of my friends, fans, and basically all those people out there playing mobile games that, I love you guys. So, kind of a heartfelt message, but again, I really feel like it needs to be said, maybe over and over and over and over again. Let's jump into this. So, let's go back to the principles of consumer habits, spending, and stuff like that. Then I'm going to talk about some discounts and break them down for you. My voice is a little bit, it's not perfect today, so forgive me if I'm clearing my throat. I don't know, I need to drink more water or something. Here we go. So this is from a game called Guardian Tales. When I open a game, it floods me with these like very nicely designed creatives, promotions, things like that. And let's talk about why people buy things. Generally, there's 5 rules why people buy? Need, greed, fear of loss, attitude of indifference, and association. Need, you need it. It's like food. Maybe you need to drive, from home to school or something like that. Something you need, something that you can actually use. Toilet paper. Might be something you need. That's one. Greed. Here we're playing off of the emotion of saving money. So typically if someone feels like they can get a good value on something, that plays to that feeling. So greed. Fear of loss. This is a very interesting one. Limited time only. Can expire in 9 days or 7 days or 10 days or 24 hours or 20 minutes. But there's this sense that if you don't get it, you're not going to be able to get it again. It's gone forever. So need, greed, fear of loss, attitude of indifference. And this is kind of more of a salesperson type thing. It's really hard to convey with mobile games and the internet. It's kind of inherent, I guess. But it's, I don't care if you get it or not. Really up to you. Because if you've ever faced like a pushy salesperson before, they kind of turn you off. I think I'm conveying this, right. So when you're trying to sell something, having that attitude of indifference, like, I'm cool, compared to, oh man, can you help me out? Really got to buy this. Which one is going to actually be more effective? So need, greed, fear of loss, attitude of indifference, and association. Everybody's getting it. All of your friends are getting it. It's the most popular thing ever. Do you see where I'm going with this? And I think, to be honest with you guys, I don't remember where I learned this. This was probably 30 years ago I learned this. I don't know. But it came from somewhere. I can't tell you who to credit it to, but these are the 5 principles of why people buy things. Yeah. And a lot of this kind of goes back into something else. And this is really the topic of what I want to cover today. Mobile gaming addiction. So why do people play mobile games? To escape from reality, some form of social interaction, maybe feed their ego. I'm just kind of off the cuff trying to think of things. Should have probably planned this out a little bit further. But you should reflect, yourself of why you play. You're bored, you want to kill some time. It's a form of entertainment. Okay. So we all have various reasons why we play the mobile games that we do. Now let's go into something that hopefully doesn't get me in trouble. So part of this was triggered lately by friends in the community who are or were top 10, top 20 stat players. We'll go over them in a minute. Let's go back to the average person for a moment. Like me and you. Okay? The average person watching this video. And this is, I'd say, like an above average person in terms of budget. So let's let's see what this conversation looks like, because I just had this just today, and hopefully this person isn't grumpy at me, but hey, they get to remain anonymous, so I think no harm, no foul. We're talking about King of Avalon, and there's, troops and heroes and stuff like that, and if you point to heroes, your damage goes up. But if you don't, you're kind of left in an uncomfortable position because damage is important. You need the heroes there. So we're going over this conversation. He says, I need to point my bow damage, need to point the hero so that my bow damage stays at 306 or something like that. Okay, seems reasonable. Yes, but I need 5 more levels of fragments for skills. Needs, something, something, something. And here's where the different points start to come in. So we've identified that the damage is one of the goals. Okay, that seems very reasonable. I can't really argue with that. And the value for money there is not too terribly bad because you only need 1 star. And now it costs like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks in order to get this. So I think the value for money there is okay. But then it's a slippery slope. He starts talking about, but I need to unlock the skills as well. Well, so these are 2 different goals. First was the damage, then it's the skills. And this goes back into mobile gaming addiction. So the companies play on your desire to excel, to do better, and they also play on impulse purchases. So like, oh yeah, you just unlocked it, for a little bit more. You can now spend a little bit more and get something else. I don't want to call it bait and switch, but it's definitely bait and hook. So then I start saying, okay, well, let's go over the second goal here. Stat value for money is hero weapons. But then I catch myself. I said, wait. Okay, before we get out of control with this, and what's the definition of an addiction? Addiction, I think, is like anything that you're not in control of. Whenever you lose control and it controls you, that's when it's something you should like, whoa. Let's hit the brakes on this, and let's step by step see what we're really doing here. Let's back up from impulse purchasing and set 2 things. What's your monthly budget and what's your goal? And they are 2 very different things. So, and they are probably in conflict too. Because if you have any desire in this game or most mobile games to excel at a high level, you probably need to spend money. 99% of them are pay to win, and it deeply frustrates me and annoys me. So yeah, there's this. So let's like debug his answers to this for a second. You should define both and stay within them. Monthly, I only spend when deals come out. Okay, see, when the deals come out, that fear of loss and that greed. Heroes came out yesterday, so I spent a bit. I usually spend a few $100 to $1,000 max. I would say spending $1,000 on a mobile game is actually quite a bit. I mean, we're talking about somebody here who's probably got an above average income, and $1,000 on disposable income, that's not too bad. That's his spending capacity. This is what he has for entertainment. Totally respectable. And I think it's personally above average. Some months less. My goal this month was to straighten out heroes, which is almost done. Okay. So heroes is not a goal. Not a goal. This is a means to an end, not an end to a means. Okay, but it's like a spending goal. That's like spending money. What does it do for you? What are you trying to accomplish in the game? Gameplay would be keeping up with stats with the rest of you guys. That's been a long-term goal. But again, keeping up with my stats how can that be your goal? My stats and your stats are going to be different. My spending capacity and your spending capacity, it's going to be different. When you target my spending capacity as your goal, like, why? Are we fighting? Because, like, I've said this before, your stats only need to be higher than the person that you're fighting. If you're fighting people who don't have high stats, then you don't need to have high stats either. And the game, because of janky matching stuff, will consistently try and, provoke you with basically losing if you don't boost your stats. But if you're in a peaceful kingdom, like, that pressure is gone. The rewards from most of the events, activities expire and stuff like that. Who cares? I mean, it's like $2 of rewards a month. Like, I mean, if you win or lose there, I don't know. So taking a step back, getting control of your emotion, not letting the game play you, playing the game. So keeping up with stats isn't gameplay. So we go back to the point of stats versus the person you're fighting. If I'm attacking him, yeah, sure, he needs to stay up with those stats. But we come to a very specific point though. For most of us, I think the biggest thing that we're playing this for is the social interaction. And then the secondary thing that we're playing it for is the events. So yeah, him trying to target a social goal, my stats and his stats not being too different, that's kind of like the social influence there, and that's how they're tricky playing on this. So let's talk actual gameplay, like real gameplay. I'm pushing a button. There's like mega a tower and reinforce a tower, and this is just about it. And for those two things, they're a little bit different. So mega tower is obviously, a higher level of commitment and responsibility. But yeah, what do you need to do those? So if you're just reinforcing a tower, you just need basically the correct troops and enough of them. That's it. Maybe gold in order to speed up to there. Those are the only three requirements, and stats isn't one of them. Your stats could be 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, and it doesn't make two sticks a difference just because, that's that. If you're mega a tower, or occasionally mega a tower, and I would say that those are two different types of goals. If you're consistently mega a tower, your responsibility is going to probably be, have stats that means that you can't be cleared like in one hit. Because if somebody's going to rally, then usually the leader would have enough time to go over there and help. But this is all stuff very specific to King of Avalon. My point is taking a step back for a minute and thinking, what is the exact activity that I am trying to do in my goal? And I think when you analytically break it down like that, it helps bring your control back. It takes away from the game controlling you, and you are controlling the game. So that when this pops up, you can ask yourself, okay, is this just really good marketing? Or do I really need this? Because, really good marketing is great and all. Having addiction is actually okay. It's just, how do you manage it? Does that addiction control you, or do you control it? Because otherwise, when you open up a loot chest and you see these bright flashing lights and it gives you that endorphin rush and the positive feelings from that and all that good luck, bad luck, gambling aspect, and basically going to a casino on your phone, try and remember this video. Because that's my point, is they have really good marketing. They understand the psychology for it. They understand the people behavior for it. They deeply understand this, and they're making billions of dollars off of it. And yeah, I hate to be the party pooper here. And the other thing is, they keep in mind that we're not necessarily dealing with honest sellers. Consumer fraud in mobile gaming, I think, is really, really, really rampant. The things that they do are pretty extremely bad. And I think if it was other industries, it probably wouldn't be okay, but because it's unregulated mobile gaming industry, it feels like the Wild West. For example, and yes, some people won't like this example, but this is the hard truth. The amount of Chinese that cheat in most mobile games is very high. So typically, and this again goes into very clever business models and things like that, the Chinese will cheat, which provokes spending on the Western side. Because remember, you only need to have your stats higher than the guy you're fighting. And if the Chinese are always higher than you have two things. You can accept that China is better, which I think is just junk, or you can boost up, which is like, it feels like the natural response, And so the Chinese actually aren't spending in a lot of cases, or they're getting janky details, or they're insiders. And all this, basically what I just consider consumer fraud, is happening on the left-hand side, trying to provoke you from spending. It's this really intricate next level deception and other things in order to just get your money. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that take a step back and understand what's going on. Because in addition to all these other things that you're used to dealing with, promotions and stuff like that, you're also dealing with something that's probably consumer fraud. So, so when people say, "Are you back?" I'm not back. I have two options. If I quit entirely, I become irrelevant. If I keep spending, you guys have a little bit of entertainment, and hopefully you get a little bit of nuggets of useful, entertaining information, something from my videos, so that you keep watching my channel. Because let's go back. Even though it takes me 3 years, 4 years to make a mobile game, every day, I promise you, I still work my ass off on it. Even though I'm not showing you everything that's going on behind the scenes, it does actually make a little bit of progress. Part of the reason that it's slow in the beginning was because I didn't know anything about making mobile games, frankly speaking. Just inexperience, lots of learning curve, tons of mistakes. At this point, I think I have things pretty much figured out. The next challenge is time and money. I don't have unlimited budget. And so, my small team, we work on things kind of like as best as we can in the time and money constraint that we have. So because I'm funding this out of essentially my own pocket, I'm just not rolling like that. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer. Why am I mentioning this? Maybe shameless self-promotion, yeah. But at the same time, I'm deeply motivated for this because I want to give people a safe place to socialize online. I want to give people a safe place to play mobile games. I just don't think it exists. I want to build a game that I want to play. That I want to build a game that I can open and I can feel good about it. I really don't care if it makes money. I hope it does. But the way that I plan to do that, I feel like it's going to be in an ethical and responsible way that is going to be fun for a lot of people. And I may have mentioned this before, but just to answer that question that may pop up, how do I plan to make money? Esports. Monday through Friday. It's like gameplay is have fun. And on the weekends, there's going to be ranked tournaments. If you want to go into the ranked tournament, you buy a subscription. Basically gives you a golden ticket, and all month on the weekends you can, go have your ranked gameplay. Nobody's going to force you to do it, but if you feel competitive, if you want the rewards, go for it. So basically, esports. And alternatively, I could do skin economy, but I think, an inexpensive monthly subscription, why not? I won't make billions off of it, but it'll give me a place that me and all my friends I can recommend to play, and hopefully there's enough strategy and shiny, blingy lights that keep you guys excited and happy. And if not, well, I'll keep working on it and improving the content until we're at a point where we all love it. Because I think, frankly, addictions for mobile games isn't going away. These discounts and deals and consumer manipulation and fraud, it's going to continue. And the only way we can disrupt that is if somebody steps up and gives them an alternative drug, basically. Because I can tell you guys all day long that consumer fraud is happening. You're being cheated. Deceptive practices, yada, yada, yada. I could expose it. It lasts for like a week. It's trending. And then everybody forgets about it and goes back to spending. I'm talking to you, Diesel. That's just it in a nutshell. So will my game come out? Yes, it will. I promise it will. I am going to put every last bit of blood, power, energy, will into making it the best game I possibly can. And yeah, because I've seen people suffering with addiction of various forms my whole life. And I can't solve alcoholism. I can't get people to literally stop taking crack. But mobile gaming crack? Yeah, maybe we make a methadone. Hopefully something less destructive than methadone. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully you guys liked this video. Feel free to share it with your friends. Drop a comment. All right, love you guys. Bye-bye for now.